Welcome back to a new post today. Let's today track the most important topics that you need to keep track for the upcoming UPSC Civil Services Examination 2026 preliminary for July 29th. So the very first is about NISAR, that is NASA ISRO synthetic aperture radar, and now this is a very first collaboration between India and NASA with regard to a satellite development. The launch will see India's GSLV rocket for the very first time inject a satellite into the sun synchronous polar orbit, in which the satellite can scan over the same point on the earth at the same time each day. Now, this is one of the most anticipated missions between ISRO and NASA, and it has two different types of attributes such as moisture content. It has a S-band radar which is sensitive, and also it can survey moisture content, surface roughness and motion as well. Usually, previously the PSLV was used to place the satellites into orbit, but NISAR is a heavier satellite and therefore it is beyond the capability of PSLV, and therefore we will be using a GSLV. Now, GSLV is being used to put the satellites in geosynchronous transfer orbit, a highly elliptical orbit that is used as an intermediary to easily take off the satellites to higher geosynchronous orbits, that is 36,000 kilometers above the Earth's surface, and it will remain in the same location every single day. So this NISAR satellite is capable of mapping the Earth during both day and night and in any weather condition as well. It will scan the entire globe every 12 days and provide a series of detailed images of the Earth's surface that can capture changes as small as even a centimeter as well. So what can actually the NISAR satellite do? The NISAR satellite is meant to capture detailed information about various Earth systems such as changing surface, interior of the planet like magma, volcanic eruptions, cold regions with ice cover, glaciers, sea ice and permafrost, the terrestrial ecosystems like forest cover, rivers, crop fields as well as water. It will provide important data to researchers across the globe for better management of the natural resources, planning, disaster management. Importantly, it will understand the effects and the pace of climate change, which will be very helpful in disaster management. It cannot predict floods, however, and forest fires, but it can definitely observe the minutest changes caused by floods and forest fire as well. It is a 2,392 satellite that will be placed in the orbit and nearly 19 minutes after the launch. The mission life is 5 years. So some of the planned applications of NISAR are: it will monitor changes in the surface water and soil moisture, therefore it will help in better soil management and also water conservation as well. It will help deal with flooding, landslides, crop failures, droughts and wildfires. It can also gather data regarding earthquake zones as well, where the earthquake has occurred, therefore helping in disaster management. It can observe changes in the permafrost, that is a frozen sublayer of the ice that can inform the communities about that may be affected. It can also gather data with regard to monitoring volcanic processes, build-up of subsurface magma, movement even before and after the eruptions. It will facilitate eruption forecasting, disaster management. Therefore, it will definitely boost calamity response. The NISAR, that's what it's meant to do. And the next one is about Thailand and Cambodia. Now, Thailand and Cambodia are facing border clashes. They share a 818 kilometer border between the two countries, and it has been a long source of tension because they do not accept the border demarcation during the French colonial rule in Cambodia. There have been skirmishes even before, and for the very first time, the clashes have escalated to a warlike situation. The border is replete with centuries-old temples that are now UNESCO World Heritage Sites. And there is establishment of a demilitarized zone, but there are no formal zones in place now. The troops are mainly, the point of clash is mainly the Pre Vihar temple, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is claimed by Thailand, but Cambodia took the issue to ICJ in 1963, that's the International Court of Justice. Cambodia again went to ICJ in 2011, and the ICJ therefore ruled in favor of Cambodia's control of the temple in 2013. There is also an issue of the Emerald Triangle, that that is a border shared between Cambodia, Laos and Thailand. However, there was no mention of the Emerald Triangle with regard to the issue in the ICJ. And the Previhar temple, let me tell you, is a temple dedicated to Lord Shiva. It was built by the Khmer dynasty, and it is a series of sanctuaries linked by pavements and staircases. It is a 800-meter long axis and dates back to 11th century AD. It is the heart of the dispute between Thailand and Cambodia, and the Previhar temple seen the intervention of the ICJ as early as in 1962, and the temple remains a point of contention. It is claimed by Thailand, but it is under the control of Cambodia. The ancient temple has been built by the Khmer Empire, and it is located on a cliff of the Dangrik Mountains in the Previhar province of Cambodia. In 1962, the ownership of this dispute went to the ICJ, and it was handed over to Cambodia. The Previhar was listed in the UNESCO World Heritage Site as early as in 2008, and it further prompted the escalation of dispute between Cambodia and Thailand over the control of the temple. President's rule has been extended in Manipur. President's rule was imposed in February 13th, according to Article 356 of the Constitution. The President's rule, once approved by both houses of the Parliament, will last for 6 months. However, it has to be renewed every 6 months, and the maximum duration it can be imposed is for 3 years. Now, the President's rule was imposed because of the ethnic clash that was broken out between the Kuki, Zo and the Methi communities, forcing 250 deaths and almost 60,000 were displaced from their homes. And the President's rule imposed came after Chief Minister Biren Singh resigned due to mounting political pressure from the BJP MLAs belonging to the Methi community who opposed his leadership. And we have Article 356 of the Constitution dealing with the President's rule, which can be imposed by the President either on his own understanding or on the report of the Governor of a state, which says that the state cannot be carried on according to the provisions of the Constitution. These are the most important points I thought I should be touching with you for July 29th. If you did, please do like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to comment at the end of the video. I shall see you tomorrow in my new post. Until then, it's very happy learning.